When we think about burping our babies, what I want you to think about is how do we increase movement in our babies' bodies? So the air that comes out of our bodies most easily comes out of our bodies when we're moving our bodies. Think about the last time somebody had to come up behind you and actually burp you. It's a long time ago probably, right? So usually babies who are feeding well, they take in a little bit of air, but they don't take in excess quantities of air. It's those excess quantities of air that need to come out, otherwise they go deeper and deeper down into the baby's lower GI tract, and that when the air gets trapped down there in the intestines, it causes babies a lot of discomfort. There can be some bloating, there can be some sharp stabbing pain. You can see it in babies when their legs are kicking, or they're grunting, or they're twisting or writhing or arching their backs. So if you see those kinds of behaviors in your baby, I want you to think about if you get the air out the front end a little bit better, it can decrease the amount of air that goes into the back end. So some of the old standby burping techniques might look really familiar. I call this the vintage technique. It's the one that most people are familiar with, where we take our baby and we kind of hold them up underneath their arms, underneath their armpits, and we just put them up over our shoulders. Now when I see people just patting or gently stroking, that can be lovely. Some babies can respond really well to that. Some babies need a pretty good tap. But as you can see, there's not a lot of movement in baby's body in this sort of position. If we take baby from a over-the-shoulder burping position to sitting them on our lap, like this, and then we place one hand on baby's chest and just support their face, and then another hand on their back, just supporting the base of their head. A great burping technique is to lean baby forward and rotate out and back and toward you, and forward again, and out and back towards you again. So we're just making large circles kind of slowly. I would hate to see baby being moved like this. It's kind of fast. So nice, slow gyrations. It's a really great burping technique. Give it a try. Another technique where baby's sitting on your lap might look very similar to that last one, where baby's sitting here, you're still supporting your baby's face in the front like this, and the back of their head like this, and we're just going to lean them forward and lean them all the way back. And lean them forward, so it's really folded over, and all the way back. I'm just going to do that a few times. You might be surprised at the number of babies that really appreciate being burped upright. So there's this technique where if you lean baby, similar to how we were supporting baby in the other positions like this, but where his chest is leaning into your hand, and you're just supporting his bottom, and you're just rotating this way. I'm not lifting up on the baby's bottom. I'm actually trying to let gravity hold baby's bottom, pulling his bottom down. So that's going to help stretch out all these little tight erector muscles up and down the baby's back. So I'm really just barely supporting baby's bottom, and I'm rotating this way, and then maybe backwards. Another technique that new parents specifically feel a little bit nervous about the first couple of times is the open air burping, where we're going to place our hands up underneath baby's armpits again. We're going to support the back of their head with our fingertips. We're just going to hold them dangling. We're just going to give some movement. This very slow, gentle movement and gravity pulling down on baby's trunk really helps get some amazing air out the bottom end. A lot of people are super familiar with the burping technique called the bicycling, where you lay baby flat down on their backs, and then you bring their knees up to their chest. Well, doing it upright can be a lot more productive because for all the same reasons that those other upright burping techniques work, gravity is pulling on the soft tissues in the baby's body to help create more space and to allow that air to eliminate easier. So if baby's sitting upright in your arms, right, just leaned up against your body, you hook your fingers up underneath their knees, and you just bring their knees to their chest and let their little bums hang, and you might sway a little bit. You might put your head here and hum and sing to your baby. Usually, babies love this one. This is what the bicycling one looks like when baby's laying down. You might lay baby flat on a nice firm surface, hold their legs up underneath their knees, and then gently bring their knees to their belly, pressing in, and you might even bring your knees in and rock from side to side, and then extend, and then push in, maybe rock a little bit. A lot of times I see parents bringing the knees in out at an angle. You can try that as well. Sometimes we don't get enough pressure on the belly to get some air out. And if you find that this works for you, fantastic. If you find that this one's not working so well for you, try bringing the knees together and pressing these together into baby's belly. And then doing some movement along baby's spine and their hips from side to side. Don't underestimate how well a baby can burp themselves as well when they're belly down. So sometimes just turning baby onto their tummy and giving them a little bit of support with their arms by putting their arms up next to their faces, turning their heads to the side, and just giving them a little something to push on with their feet here. You might be surprised to see that baby pushes into your hands, and when the babies push like that, that exertion can cause them to let out some air that way. But you can also help. You can also burp them like this on their bellies while giving that pressure up against their feet. And then a great way of getting extra movement into baby is by sitting on a birth ball, such as this. We call them birth balls, but they could be yoga balls, exercise balls, anything like that. You've got baby in your arms, you can either face them out and then just give them some nice gentle bouncing like this. They really respond well to that. Sometimes they like to be up against our bodies. We can hold on to them like this and give them some nice gentle bouncing. Can also make soothing baby in the middle of the night an awful lot easier. And then one of the last ones that I'm going to share with you right now is actually placing baby on the ball. So I'm going to take baby and I'm going to roll them onto their stomach, right on the ball, just like this. I'm going to have their arms up next to their face so that nice and stable, and they can push into the ball and lift their heads up if they like to. And I might just move baby on the ball like this. I'm always going to have two hands on baby. And then I might also bounce baby a little bit.